Hello, hello. Sorry about that. Welcome back to Stamping A to Z. Happy Wednesday. I'm going to start this all over again because when I went to switch it to the tabletop, somehow it rotated and went the other way. I'm not sure why. I've never had that happen before. Anyways, hopefully you find me on this new video. Yeah, so Stampin' A to Z is my live weekly series that I do every Wednesday at noon Mountain Time. I am in Canada, so if there's anything you want to purchase from my store, you need to be in Canada. Elsewhere, you'll have to find a demonstrator near you. If you are watching the live, comment, say hi. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know where you're watching from. I do, the replays are available on my Facebook page and also on my YouTube channel. So if you're not able to make it at noon on Wednesdays, you are welcome to watch them anytime. I do try to check the comments, so say hi. If you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully I will see them and I can respond. So today, like I said, we're looking at the Fitting Florets Suite, which is an early release for demonstrators. It will be available November 1st for customers. I chose to showcase it today just so that we do have a promo on for October for joining Stampin' Up. So if you join my team in October, you get $206 worth of product for $135 instead of the usual $165. So it's a great time to join, and you will be able to get this suite early if you love it. So I just thought I would showcase it today so you can check it out. And yeah, let me get you turned over and we'll check it all out. So hopefully this doesn't happen again. There we go. Okay, we're looking good so far. Oh my goodness, I don't know what happened there. Hopefully we will be good. That has never happened before. I'm not sure what I did. Something very talented, I guess. All right, so here is the Fitting Florets collection that is going to be released November 1st, like I said. But because we have the starter kit available right now till the end of October, so for $135, you can get $206 worth of product, which includes this suite. So what I was thinking is you can't get the whole suite and the Stampin' Cut machine, but if you take out, so they break it down, and if you take out the designer series paper, or if you don't want the seasonal stamp set, take out one of the pieces, then you can get this collection and the Stampin' Cut and emboss machine, the mini one, which is 80, I wrote it down somewhere, $83 or $86. So if you add those two up, it gets you to the $206, and then you're able to cut. Then you can get a 20% discount as well after that. So then you could purchase your designer series paper and ink and whatever else you need if you're new to this. So if you already have stuff, then you don't need that. But that was just a thought if you love this. So let's get started. I'll show you quickly what's in here, and then I'll show you some projects with it. So the die set is actually quite a large die set. It's got 2 pages of it. So we've got these 2 ovals, cut out ovals in the centers, and then you've got the frames. This one does not cut out an oval. You can see there's no cuts on the inside or the outside. It just makes like an oval frame of hearts with that one. I don't know if there was oh, there is. So you can see it in the picture here where it's just the hearts. And then they've cut out the actual oval with this piece or this piece, whichever one, to actually cut out an oval. And then it cuts a bunch of the flowers that are in here as well. And then you've got all the sentiments that fit within the ovals. And then so this is an early release. This die, this, and this, I think it's just the bundle, will be available in the mini catalog starting in January. These other pieces are going to be available November and December, I think. Maybe it's just November. I don't remember. Either way, so you've got your Christmas framed and festive, so more Christmas greetings. You've got these, they're swirl, gold adhesive backed swirls. And then you've got the designer series paper that matches. And as usual, Stampin' Up! Is amazing. And a lot of the paper can be cut out with the cutouts from your dies. So it's really great that way. Let me pull these papers out so you can see them. So they're double-sided. So as usual, you've got kind of got a busy pattern and a more kind of subtle pattern. You've got like very springy because this is a kind of a spring set being released in January. But then you've got like this can totally be Christmas. Again, this can be Christmas, more wintry. They're very versatile papers. So like this could be a total masculine something. This again could be Christmas or spring, depending on what colors you put with it. Lots of really fun colors. So then you've got this one is the last one. And then the really nice gingham. Oh, I meant to show, I'll have to do another project. I had seen another demonstrator. They made this like a ribbon, the way they folded it, and it was so pretty. So I didn't end up making that for today, but I will have to show it. Okay, on to project number 1. The first one is quite a simple project. I used a few pieces from this fitting Florets and added some others as well. So here we've got, I cut out an oval using the die out of our masking paper. And then I've got a piece of white, black, and then this is our rose gold specialty paper. And I've already run it through the machine, and I put some adhesive sheet on the back of this. And it is from the Snowman dies set that's in the mini catalog. So I'm going to use this as well. But to start, I'm just going to start with my white piece and my masking paper here. Now, one trick I have learned with this masking paper is you don't want to stick it down straight like this. It is quite strong and can end up tearing your paper. So what I like to do is I like to stick it, especially as this sweater works really well because it's kind of got some extras, and I just stick it down, and so now it's kind of got a little bit of what do you call it, pilling pieces of fabric. So I'm just going to put that down onto my white piece here, and then I'm going to take my blending brush and some Blushing Bride here, since got the rose gold foil, and I am loving having the pinks as in Christmas cards. I don't know about you guys if you're more traditional, but I just love it. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to go darker in my corners, and then just kind of lighter everywhere else. and I've showed this before, that I've realized that if you swirl onto the ink pad rather than tapping, you don't get that kind of strong, crazy amount of ink that gets put down all of a sudden. So if you're having troubles with that, try the swirl instead of the tap. That made a huge difference for me. So hopefully it will for you as well. My comments are not coming up today. I don't know if you guys are just being quiet or if my comments aren't working. So hopefully if you have questions, it'll pop up. We'll see. So now we have our masking paper. We're just going to pull it off. And then we're going to carefully, like I said, it's pretty, so even with having stuck it to my sweater first, it has some really good adhesive to it. So just be careful when you're pulling it off. And you could even use it again a few more times. Like, that's how sticky it is. So if you're making multiples, you could totally do that. So then I'm going to take, if I can find it. Oh, I know where it is. It's because I have it in here. I have it in my stamparatus here, mostly because I want it to be nice and dark. So if I have to try more than once, I can do that when I have my stamparatus. Although I re-inked my Memento recently, so it should give me a good so it's a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with that. So I don't need to do it again, but the stamparatus is handy in case you need to stamp it multiple times for that purpose. So then I'm going to, so really all I used from the fitting florets is the sentiment from the framed and festive, and then the oval cutout for my mask. And then I'm going to take this house, which is from the Ringed with Nature stamp set, this little house here. And I'm just going to stamp it within, but because I don't want it to compete with, the sentiment is really kind of my standout part. So I'm going to just stamp off first and then stamp it. So it's just kind of in the background. You could stamp your house first and then your sentiment. Totally depends on your preference. There you've got a cute little house from our home to yours. And then you can pull out, so you can still use this piece for other die cuts, so don't throw that away. And then you see all these little teeny pieces and parts. Normally I find when I have an adhesive sheet on here, it comes off when I pull off the adhesive. So let's see if it works for me, because you know when you're on video it usually tries not to work and makes you look there. See, they're all coming off. Oh, nice. So normally it works that way, which is nice. Let's see, there's 2 left there. Then we have a few left there. Oops. So let's get all those pieces off. And then if you've got your take a pick tool, I had the pick part hidden. I took it with me on the plane and I didn't have any troubles with it having the spatula side out. I don't know if they would have said anything with the pick side out, but I had no troubles at security whatsoever. So, mental note, if you're ever traveling and you want your take a pick tool, you can do that. Now, you can put this down, or you could put a window sheet and you could build up, like you could even cut out the oval and build it up and make a shaker card. Oops, it doesn't want to stick. I will show you the finished card here. So here's the finished card. All I did was mount some black and white and another blushing bride behind as a very simple card. For those of you who've watched before, I usually go from simple to most, to my wow card at the end. So this is the simple, easy, fast card. Next is a fun one as well. So I've got a piece of crumb cake cut out with the deckled rectangles. You could totally just cut your rectangle, and if you wanted to have an edge, you can tear it. You could take your snips and rough up your edges if you wanted kind of a more look. I love the deckled rectangles. They are like, I use them all the time. For those of you that watch regularly, you know that. So now I've got my Versamark. And I've got the Fa La La. So again, that's from the Framed and Festive. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to stamp it. So you could use, if you wanted to really have it well aligned and perfect, you could use your losing my words, your stamparatus and do the window moving stuff. If you're not sure how, I do have a previous video, probably way far back, when I went through all the different products and how to use them and different ways to use them. But you can always go back and check it out if you're not sure how to do that, how to do like the stepped stamping with the stamparatus. So you want to work fairly quickly because I am going to put embossing powder on here. But not, that ended up being all kind of the same lineup. That's kind of silly. And I'm going to did it again. Okay. Not to worry about that right now. Okay. So then I've got all my fa la 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 la's there. Then I'm going to take my white embossing powder, get this out of the way, and I'll scoop some up here. And oops, turn that around. I found these scoops on Amazon. I can't remember what they're called. They're great for embossing powder. Okay, oops. Looks like I missed the top part here. All right, so I've got that. I'm gonna take my handy dandy. If you guys haven't got your hands on these yet, I don't know if they will be offering it past the mini catalog. So this tool and the tray and the embossing buddy are all available in the mini catalog till the end of December. I would hope that they're going to continue it because they're tools that are so handy. Like that tray that I was just using, it's black instead of the new one is brown. I've had that for years and years and years. Very handy to have. And I like having multiple because I usually like the clear and the white. I pretty much have dedicated ones for that. And then I have one other one that I kind of keep a piece of paper in, and I'll switch different colors into like the golds and silvers and things that you don't use as often, maybe. Maybe it's just me. Gold and silvers I find are more at Christmas time. I don't tend to use them a lot. Then there. One more time, make sure it's all done. Oh, looks like there's some there. Okay, I think we're good. All right. So now we have our fa la la la. And it just so happens that they've got the 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly. Fa la 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 la. So we will add that on in a second. I've got, so I pre-cut, because you know, we don't need to bore you guys. I've got Coastal Cabana, and then I've got Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana, because I was gonna just glue these together just to kind of give it a bit of dimension. So for this one, I'm going to add the 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly and add the white embossing powder again. You guys are really quiet today. That or my comments are not working. I think I'm gonna have to start using my computer for this because, oh look, some comments just came up. Oh good, it's working. Thank you for letting me know. That's always just a quiet bunch. Okay, so the same thing. I did not use the embossing buddy. I find that the white, except for maybe on the black, you want to use, I find I need the embossing buddy more with the golds and other things. It just depends how much you've handled the paper and static dryness in the house, whatever. So seems to be doing pretty good without, and since we're, if you wanted it really, like I do have pieces on here, so if I wasn't videoing, I probably would use the embossing buddy just to make sure I didn't have those specks. But sometimes specks can be an added bonus, especially if it's like a birthday and it looks like kind of confetti. It's all good. Okay, so there's my 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly. And then I've got these pieces. So then I'm going to take, bear with me here. I am getting to the end of my glue, but one of my glues that I had on the plane with me, it's decided to gush like a geyser and be all crazy. So I don't know what's going on with it, but it has decided it's got some extra to come out or something. So I'm just going to put this in the center here. Now you can pop these up with the mini dimensionals. What I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to glue this one down. So this one, you want to make sure you don't put, as long as your glue is not, has a mind of its own, just put very small amount, because there's those lines that actually the glue can come out of. So I'm going to put this here just so I don't have the, why does it seem bigger? It's like my paper shrunk. Okay. As the glue is squirting out. And then I'll show you how, if I can find my mini dimensionals here. These fit perfectly. If you line them up carefully, they fit perfectly onto the frame, so you won't see them. As you go. I have to show you guys. I brought a couple kits with me while I was away, which I must apologize for last week. I mentioned that I was going to be away and that I wasn't doing a live last week, but then I forgot to post a reminder. So I only mentioned it in the video the week before. So if you weren't watching, whatever, it was like, where are you? So I do apologize for not posting a canceled live. I was flying on Wednesday and my head was in the clouds. I was trying to get my youngest packed up. He was leaving for Portugal after we were leaving, so I was a little frazzled. Anyways, it's all good. We're back. We're live. So that is the start of our card here, and the sun is like totally coming around the house, and I tried to close the blind so that we wouldn't have this problem, and then it decided to come around. Anyways, I thought it was going to be late enough. Sorry. If it's, let me know if it's too much and I can close the blind some more. So these snowflakes and this vellum is from the Snowflake Specialty Vellum, which is also in the mini catalog. It can be found on page 40 of the mini catalog. It has iridescent versions and then it has the flocked versions. So there's two different snowflake patterns and then the snowing. So here we're using the flocked, and I'm going to use the snow behind. And I've got these snowflakes. So I've already cut one out, and I started this one because I didn't want to bore you guys. I'll just show you how easy it is to kind of go through. And if you're really lazy like I am, I don't love fussy cutting. It's not really my thing, and I have a lot of finger pain and swelling and stuff these days. So I've actually, my Christmas wish list is a scan and cut machine. So then I can like scan and cut all of these all at once in one go. And I think it would be super cool. I might not think it's super cool after I actually use it, but I've watched some other people using it with the designer series paper, and it seems pretty easy to do. So we'll see. We'll see if Santa's brings me a scan and cut. So I've got these two. I think I'm gonna go like this. And then what I did is I'm gonna take this snowflake and a punch. So this is just an old, it was a Stampin' Up! Punch way back when. So if you've been, it's a Fiskars punch though, so I'm sure you can get your hands on it anywhere. I like the rectangular punch, especially when my ribbon is the fatter ribbon. And then you just want to put it through. And then we're going to go around this piece here. And the way I like to measure how long I need is I kind of go the same length as that first piece. And we'll just cut it a bit longer. And then you just go up the back side as well. This is kind of my cheater way of doing bows. just kind of holds your ribbon for you if you do it properly. Got it twisted here. Okay, there we go. And then before I tied it, I kind of want to place my, actually maybe I'll do it after the fact. Actually no, because I want to place my snowflake ahead of time so it's not in my words here. So we kind of want it down here. So I'll put one, now that it's stuck to my finger. Oh dear. See, finger troubles. Oh yeah. Okay, so if it's down like that, and then maybe I'll put one down here so it stays. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that placed. This is the polished pink ribbon from the annual catalog. It is one of the newer in colors. Okay. And then you can put your other one over here. I think I'm just going to use a glue dot here because this is already popped up, and since it's going to be on my frame, I don't know what happened to my glue dots. They're all on the opposite side of where they normally are. So again, I just want to make sure that it's not, oh, maybe I shouldn't have put it there. It's a little further than I thought. Okay, well, dimensional it is. There we go. Okay, so then we've got that and this, and then we just put it on the back of another piece of crumb cake, and we have this as our card. I've added a gem. These are the, oh, you know what? They're the In Color Jewels. I don't think they are available anymore. I could be wrong. Actually, they must be, because I'm pretty sure I took out all my retired ones. Anyways, if you don't have these and you have like the iridescent jewels or whatever, you can always color them with a blend to get that same effect if you want that on there. So that's card number 2. Now for the wow card. Okay, so we're gonna start with, I've got an oval pre-cut, and I've got some paper here. Let me get this out of the way. I'm going to start with my sentiment, I think, and I'm going to use the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I'm focusing on the Christmas sentiments rather than the sentiments that are in the main set. You've got birthdays, you've got thank yous, you've got great ones. I just thought I'd save those for more of the springy kind of stuff. If I want to make a birthday, a winter birthday, I could. I just haven't played a lot with the Christmas stuff yet, so that is kind of where I headed for this one. So like I said, I'm going to use gold for this. So I'm going to use the Embossing Buddy. This is this tray, this and this are what I was talking about that's in the mini catalog that I don't know if they will offer it past the mini catalog. So if you don't have your hands on it and you don't have the old stuff of it, make sure you get your hands on it. And then I'm going to use my first Versamark. Just get this lid open. So whenever I'm using the Versamark, I usually try to close. So while I'm stamping this down and letting it kind of go into the cardstock, I always close my Versamark, because when you use the powder and you tap, it goes flying everywhere. And you don't want your powder in your Versamark. So that is kind of my way of, and you'll notice I'm holding it on the edges because I don't want my fingers all over. And again, this is where the handy dandy tool, oh, the other piece, there is another piece and I'm about to use it. There's a little brush and there's this little extra dot here. It is a great brush. It's just kind of the right stiffness to get rid of that powder. So here is where I'm going to use my handy dandy don't burn my hand tool. And my cord was stuck on my chair. You can see it turn as you go. So always make sure before you rub your hand across it, you take a look at it and that it's shiny everywhere. If you've got a non-shiny spot, go over it again, or you're gonna, when you hit it, the powder will just come off and it won't be as nice. So there we've got our Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Then we're gonna use some stamps from the actual framed florets. I'm going to use this flower, and the leaves. And I'm going to stamp it with Memento because I'm going to color it with blends. The nice thing with the photopolymer is you can always see how well your stamp is inked up. Do you guys get dimensional backings everywhere? I always have them stuck to me. I'll go upstairs and they'll be falling off of me as I walk. Like, it's back in the day when, before glitter paper and stuff. I remember when we used to always put glitter on the projects and I'd come up and I'd have it on my face and all over. Now it's the dimensional backings. It seems to be. And the odd time you have a rhinestone stuck to you somewhere. Okay, so there's my pictures. I'm not gonna color these all the way because you will get bored out of your mind. But for good Christmas colors, I'm gonna use Cherry Cobbler and Soft Succulent. Last week, actually I'm jumping ahead. I'll just, I'll do, oh, so here, let me, this is the light. I realized when I went to color that my tip was absolutely dying, as you can see. So I tried to cut it off because it was just like this limp top that went everywhere and then you couldn't color with it. So now I cut off the top that was kind of dried and smushy and I can at least color a fair amount, and then I can go to the fine tip side to get in the lines. So I don't go out. But yeah, so if your tips are dying, you can always cut off the end and continue to use them because they're not dry. They're just, I was bad and I used them with, like I would have colored something that was embossed. So like say this flower was embossed and then I colored over it. Apparently it wrecks your tips. And I never believed them because I would use it and they looked just fine. But I think it's over time that eventually they just kind of die on their own. And then the next you open it up and then it's like, oh, so you can cut this one. This tip isn't too bad. But yeah, that tip was really, really bad. So you can go through, I'm using, there's always a light and a dark, which is great for doing your, just adding dimension and shadowing and stuff. So I'm going to do the leaves with the soft succulent. It's super pretty. And then again, you can add in the dark. I always just follow the lines, and it seems to work well. So pretend that's all colored through the magic of television. I have colored and pre-cut, and so the dies cut them out like so. And then we have the designer series paper that goes with. Last week I showed you coloring on designer series paper to change it up. So here again, we're going to do that, but just a really simple, just the berries. And it's neat because, I don't know if you can see, it's not, the berry isn't all white. So then when you color it with your blend, it actually like shadows it for you because there's already that green under there. So it makes it look like you've added all like this dimension to it, but really you've just colored it normally. Kind of like the pumpkins that we did last week. It really adds, and you could even add like a bit of the darker where the green is as well if you really wanted to add to it. Totally just depends on how much time you want to take working on it, obviously. I won't finish this because again it'll take too long. So you've got this, and then I have pre-cut. So once again, I took some gold foil and I cut out the deckled rectangle. Then I cut out the oval in the center because I didn't need the center of my foil. So why waste your foil that's going to be behind another piece of paper? So use that center part. Don't waste it. And then you can put that like that. So pretend these are all red. So this obviously I can use for another project. I won't be using it right now, but I am going to use the gold frame, and then you can add your, so you'd probably want to put this straight down and then pop this one up, or you can have them all down or all up, and then you could pop your flowers. I did cut out, there's lots of little leaf kind of leafy cutouts and stuff that you can cut out from the dies. So I just wanted to show, like you could, if you wanted to add even more gold, you could like put one on either side. You could put it down here, like you could go around, whatever, however you want. So that is, I'll show you the finished one. Now it's not completely finished because I want you guys, I need your votes. So here's the most of it, the card front, but now I need my card base. So I would like to know what you guys prefer. I've added those gold swirls on here. I couldn't decide. I've got, this is Sahara sand as an option. So it's kind of like a neutral kind of option. Okay, I'm going to close the blind because it is like too bright. Let's see if that helps a little bit. We're very bright in here today. Okay, then another option is soft succulent. So that just is kind of green on green and gold. And then you've got the white. So it kind of just pops all the white stuff on here. So let me know what your preference is, and that's the one I'm going to add it to, because I couldn't decide which one I liked. I sat here and I was like, oh, you like this one? Oh, I kind of like this one. I tried a bunch of different combos. Maybe I just haven't found the one yet. What do you guys think? What's your preference? White, soft succulent, or Sahara sand? Any votes? You guys are so quiet today. I don't know if I'll get any votes. I'll have to put it up on Instagram and see if anyone votes. But yeah, so while I'm waiting for responses, because sometimes there's a bit of a lag time, I wanted to show you. So like I said, I took some kits with me to Victoria when I went. My husband ended up being sick, and so I kind of sat there and crafted. So I had purchased this birthday card organizer kit, and I made all the cards, super quick and easy cards, very cute, feminine, masculine. I haven't added all the sentiments to them because I didn't know if I wanted to keep them all as birthday cards or what I wanted to do, and I haven't added all the bling because I didn't know, you know, depending on if you're giving it to a guy or a girl, you might want to put something versus something else. Now, I have to admit, so it came with a book where you put your birthday cards inside. And it's funny because this came out the day after I had been contemplating making my own book to house birthday cards for people. Because I have a calendar right now where I have everybody's birthdays. But as I make cards, I would love to have a place to stash those cards in the right month, in the right place for a specific person when you think of them. So I did not love this floral. It was too florally for me. So I decided to change it up. So here is the book that it comes with. Only I have covered it with the gingham paper that is in the mini catalog. And I cut out an oval. So again, I used those fitted floret dies. And I stamped birthday wishes. So I know it's for birthdays. And this is the inside. So there's pockets in each page. You can add, these are stickers, and then for each day of the month, you can add whose birthday it is. So these are all pockets. But I wasn't loving the floral background. So I put this paper on, and I just wanted to show you. Now, again, options. So I had colored this, which matches those cards, but I hadn't decided. And then I thought, well, maybe I want to go totally different. And I cut out a gnome and a little mushroom, and I thought I could do that too. So you could decorate this book without having those flowers on there. You can decorate the book as in any way that you see fit. The other, how I got the paper in here, so here's a gray. I wasn't sure if I wanted gray or black, but then when I opened it up, I decided on black. But I punched it. Now, this is a really old punch that I have from Stampin' Up. Again, I'm sure something similar. They have punches for this kind of coil that you can purchase. You can also take it to Staples and have them do the coil punch, I believe. But yeah, so I just went through and I punched it, and they must all be a standard width because it fit. My holes are slightly smaller than the holes that are in this book, so you can kind of see the back. My paper is orange on the back, so you can kind of see it there. But other than that, it fits. So you can totally if you're like me and you don't love the look of the book, but you like the idea of the kit, then this is how you can change it up. So you can make it personalized and all your own. You can make it match your craft room or wherever you're going to keep it, your kitchen, wherever. Yeah, so I went neutral. It can go anywhere. And now I love it. So that, let me go back. Let's see the comments. Let's see. You like the gnome? Yeah, I like the gnome for the book too. Oh, some of you like succulent or white, other one neutral. I don't know. I still don't have a set answer, so I'll keep thinking of that one. But anyways, let me go through and show you the 3 cards again. You can take a screenshot if you want to remember them. I do post pictures of them afterwards along with the replay. So those are my, oops, my camera's, hopefully I wasn't off camera the whole time. I have one person who always is like, move up, move up. You guys are too quiet. Anyways, here are the 3 cards with the fitting florets, which is, like I said, it'll be available November 1st unless you join and purchase the starter kit, in which case you can order it right away. Reminder that my club, my monthly club starts this month. It actually is tomorrow, but I do have spots available. If you want to join in November, let me know. If you want more information, you can always ask me for that. Yeah, so hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.